Since the dawn of a new era in movement, not just for Fortnite, but PvP as a whole, I've been captivated by its endless possibilities. While others were focused on mastering zero build mode, I spent most of Chapter 3 in creative, building webby movement from scratch. From day one, I knew I was onto something special. Back then, peak plays ruled the meta, a classic no doubt, but I've never been one to stick to the script. My drive to innovate led to the birth of webby movement, redefining what it means to control the battlefield. Fast forward to today, and I've even earned a nod from Cypher PK.
Yo, Webby, what's good, man? I see your TikToks, bro. They're on my For You page. Thank you so much for the controller, bro. I appreciate that. I see you. I see you with the movement and the zero build and all that stuff.
Unlike Mr. Krabs, we don't gatekeep greatness here. So grab a seat, Weblings, because today, we're diving into the fundamentals of the most advanced movement techniques in PvP history. The key to webby movement lies in a centered crosshair placement, leveraging your movement to track opponents while evading their shots. Letting movement speed handle much of the workload, you can rely on controlled, low sensitivity adjustments rather than a high sensitivity flick. A high sensitivity may seem fast, but it often adds instability when performing advanced moves. That's why I recommend keeping a look sensitivity under 30%, with my personal setting at 22 for players ready to master this style. To optimize webby movement, I suggest using exponential aim response. Exponential starts slow and ramps up as you push the joystick further. This setup helps maintain crosshair stability, an absolute must for keeping your aim precise while executing advanced maneuvers. Before we dive into advanced techniques, we need to master the basics of sliding and slide canceling, as almost every move builds off these fundamentals. Sliding helps you gain momentum and cover distances while staying low, making you a harder target to hit. Slide canceling takes movement to the next level by allowing you to interrupt the slide mid-motion, letting you instantly change directions. This skill is crucial for staying unpredictable, giving you the freedom to stop or pivot at any moment. By canceling your slide right as you hit an opponent's line of sight, you can bait them into tracking your direction, only to switch up at the last second. Mastering these basics unlocks webby movement's full potential, giving you the speed and unpredictability needed to outmaneuver even the sharpest opponents. Now that we've laid the groundwork, let's dive into specific techniques that'll help you decide what moves to use and why in any given moment. Imagine an enemy is closing in on your cover. Instead of a traditional peek, I sprint out into a slide across their body at a 45-degree angle. This juke not only throws off their aim, but forces them to retrack. Ideally, you want to get your first shot off here before chaining into another move. In this case, I land a 91 damage pump shot, then slide under and behind them. This is where you have to think smart. Do you have the angle to land your shot without needing a major crosshair adjustment on the second juke? If your crosshair is too far off center, you'll need to recognize that instantly to decide if a third move is necessary. Here, I hook back towards the opponent's off shoulder, drawing them into a full 180-degree turnaround and absolutely wrecking their camera in the process. Let's check the replay so we can see it in real time. Now that we have a clear understanding of how to play the angles, I want to show you specific moves that will be a catalyst for your success. Starting with Ninja Strafing, a powerful maneuver that serves as a preemptive strike, allowing you to evade enemy fire while positioning yourself for an effective counter. Imagine hearing an enemy shocking in your direction, but you're unsure where they'll land. Instead of overanalyzing the situation and risking getting caught off guard, you initiate a quick slide in one direction. As you slide, you then sprint jump back towards the opposite direction. This dynamic back and forth motion keeps your opponent guessing and makes it harder for them to track your movement. By constantly swaying between these two directions, you create opportunities to anticipate where they'll land, enabling you to execute an immediate countermove based on their positioning. In essence, Ninja Strafing not only helps you dodge incoming shots, but also allows you to maintain your offensive pressure, setting you up for success in engagements. Ninja Strafing can not only replace traditional peek plays, but also counter them. Let's say I have a player inside a doorway. By Ninja Strafing across the doorway from left to right, I can gauge their positioning and throw them off balance, creating an opportunity to push. If they decide to push me instead, I'm ready with the preemptive juke. Ninja strafing is also incredibly effective in bunker fights, especially around the outer perimeter. This technique keeps you vigilant against 2 points of attack and can even bait opponents into thinking you're retreating. As they move to pursue you, you can spring into action and sprint jump over them just as they turn the corner, catching them off guard. Timing is everything for ninja strafing. Visual audio, or listening for the sounds of footsteps and weapon changes, can alert you to an enemy's position, allowing you to make your move with confidence. If you find yourself caught off guard, don't panic. Instead, use that initial slide to create distance while keeping an eye on your opponent. This sliding motion can help you line up for a sprint jump over them as you retreat. By keeping a center crosshair placement throughout your movements, you'll be in a better position to land those more difficult shots. This combination of evasive action and precision aiming makes ninja strafing an invaluable tool in your combat arsenal. Next up is U-turn strafing. At its core, this technique is designed to replace traditional 180-degree turns with fluid movement. When an enemy is behind you, sprinting to the right or left, then dropping into a slide as you shift your momentum, allows you to remain elusive, dodging shots while positioning yourself advantageously against your target. There's also a more advanced application of U-turn strafing. Imagine an enemy is charging at you using a grapple. As they approach, if I spot an opportunity to sprint directly towards them just before they land, I can effectively move underneath them while they're airborne, whether from a bunny hop or grapple. This maneuver forces them to jump over me, allowing me to circle back towards their offhand side, catching them off guard. By anticipating their slide, I can mirror their direction with a U-turn motion, instantly regaining positional leverage. This allows me to capitalize on their movement, putting them at a disadvantage as I maintain control over the engagement. To maximize the effectiveness of U-turn strafing, it's crucial to read your opponent's movements and predict their trajectory. Timing is everything. Practice will help you refine this technique until it becomes second nature. Now, I could list movement techniques all day, but there's more value in teaching you how to attack a player's peripheral vision and start creating your own moves. This is all about awareness in the moment, learning to pivot 90 degrees past your opponent or doubling back if necessary to keep them guessing. Sometimes, a quick slide move is enough for the knockout. Other times, you'll need to pivot another 90 degrees in the opposite direction. Gone are the days of going chest to chest in a risky 50-50 exchange. Instead, we adopt a shoot and move mindset, where mind games are just as crucial as mechanics. For instance, if you lure an enemy to chase you around a corner, a well-timed sprint jump just before they cross the line of sight can leave them baffled as you vanish and reposition. Even a subtle shift towards retreat can bait an opponent into lowering their guard, giving you an opening to turn the tables. As Sun Tzu said, pretend inferiority to encourage their arrogance. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. This, my friends, is the art of war.